Big changes are rolling in for the trucking industry in 2025, and they're set to impact fleets nationwide. Let's break down the key updates so you stay ahead of the curve. MC numbers are going away. Starting October 1st, USDOT numbers will replace MC numbers, streamlining registrations and cracking down on fraud. Fleets, make sure your USDOT number is current to avoid any hiccups. This change simplifies the identification process but requires attention to detail during the transition period. Medical certification goes digital. By June 23, exam results will be submitted electronically. No more paper certificates. Drivers, double-check with your state's licensing agency to prevent any renewal headaches. What this means for drivers and fleets. Drivers should verify that their medical certifications are recorded properly and in a timely manner with DMV to avoid potential issues during inspections or license renewals. Fleets should emphasize the best practice of pulling a motor vehicle report to ensure this process functions correctly. This change eliminates the need for drivers to carry paper medical certificates, reducing administrative burdens. Drug and alcohol clearinghouse enforcement. If a driver is prohibited, states must now downgrade their CDL privileges, so compliance is more crucial than ever. Fleets, stay on top of clearinghouse reports and protect your team. What this means for drivers and fleets. Drivers must ensure they comply with drug and alcohol testing requirements to avoid license downgrades. While the clearinghouse does send out updates when a driver's record changes, fleets should regularly check the clearinghouse to monitor their drivers' statuses. English proficiency enforcement. New executive orders mean drivers must read and speak English fluently to stay on the road. Non-compliance leads to instant removal from service, so training and support are key. What this means for drivers and fleets. Drivers should self-reflect, determine their level of English proficiency and seek necessary training. Fleets may need to provide language support or resources to ensure compliance for current drivers. For driver applicants, fleets need to determine objective guidelines for ensuring hired drivers are proficient. Broker and freight forwarder rules extended. FMCSA has pushed the deadline for compliance to January 16, 2026, allowing more time for online systems to roll out. Brokers, stay updated to avoid disruption. What this means for drivers and fleets. While this change primarily affects brokers and freight forwarders, carriers should stay informed about these developments, as they can impact business relationships and payment security. Broker transparency gets a boost. FMCSA is requiring brokers to disclose transaction records within 48 hours of a request, helping carriers fight fraudulent charges and get fair compensation. What this means for drivers and fleets. US-based carriers are no longer required to submit BOI reports, reducing administrative tasks. However, foreign entities operating in the US must still comply with these requirements. This change narrows the scope of reporting obligations to foreign entities only. Looking ahead, industry shifts. Deregulation debates continue. Speed limiter rules, lease purchase agreements, and other policies are in the spotlight. Fleets must stay engaged to influence changes that could affect operations. What this means for drivers and fleets. Drivers with non-domiciled CDLs should ensure their credentials are valid and comply with FMCSA standards. Fleets employing such drivers must verify their qualifications and monitor regulatory developments. Stay informed and stay ahead. The trucking landscape is evolving, and compliance is the name of the game. Keep an eye on legislative updates, adjust your strategies, and keep those wheels turning in 2025. Like, share, and tag your fellow truckers. Let's navigate these changes together. Safe Haul Solutions.